Today we went to MDHHS Saginaw County. Uh, they tried to refuse me access without me pulling out my driver's license because it was buried in my wallet. Um, and I used a plastic. It's not RFID, but it's similar type of ID, except it's plastic. Because I'm cheap. If I had money, I probably would buy RFID. That way, it protects the cards and the smart cards that are on some of my credit cards and bank cards. But I'm too cheap to get one right now, so I use a gum container, which built the same way. It's just not RFID, but it keeps things together, protects them, waterproof. It seals. It's good. Um, and it prevents damage from wear and tear, banging around inside of a wallet or a backpack. Anyway, so I didn't want to dig out my driver's license. I said I could dig it out. I said, but this is an ID too. We don't take that here. You don't take a VA ID. You take a state ID, but not a VA. The Veterans Identification Card. This is a legal document issued by a cabinet level department. No, we don't accept those. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And as a veteran, that's offensive. They'll take a state ID card, which any Joe Schmo can get. Any Joe Schmo. Even fake ID. I've encountered people when I was in the homeless shelter. I encountered people and, just listening to them smiling. And I know how these people, predators, sex offenders that are non compliant, people running on warrants, people running from child support, instead of trying to be humble before the court and saying, look, I'm having a hard time. I'm broke. Yeah, you could put me to jail. Yeah, I was with the guy once. I went with him to the courthouse. It's scary. Nobody wants to go to jail. Jail freaking ruins your life. In jail, some of those people, the people that control the jail, they're the worst human beings. Those are the ones that control it. And then when you move in the softer side, the libraries, the kitchen, the what do they call the clinic, the infirmary. These are the nonviolents, like the pedophiles, the small-time thieves, um, child support, people felonious child support. These are the guys that run the softer side, you know. So I mean, it was scary. I was there with him. I'm glad that I was able to help him because his ex, um, my experience, there's something there. She's kind of hateful. Um, it's my impression of her. Um, but anyway, I went with him there. As support. I drove him down there. A good guy. Um, but he was making an effort to make things right. Many people don't here and abroad. But anyway, it's not a place people want to go. But these are the people that can make a fake ID and steal your identity. All they need is a couple of pieces, and what they do is they go into the shelter. They got a piece of mail. Oh, this is my name. Something that they could even grab out of the garbage. And then they just start digging. Library's got a computer. They start digging. Get one piece after another. Once you have those two or three pieces, there's the biggest hurdle, the birth certificate, things like that. Get a copy of utility bill. I mean, there's different steps they go through. Utility bill, that's a hard one because you got to know where the person lives. But there's steps they go through to build a fake identity. And the Secretary of State, they have no idea. The only people that know is Michigan State Police because people filed the identity theft affidavit. I did. Well, supposedly, unless it went across a apartment complex network and was intercepted. I guess that would matter. Actually, the network, technically, it's not theirs. It's mine because I have a contract with the cable provider. But and I pay for a service. So even though those wires are attached to their building, um, I own the rights for the information that goes across them. But extremists will argue against this. Oh, you're on private property. This is my land. Those wires belong to me. But anyway, so this is how people will make their fake ID. So that state ID doesn't mean as much to me as the VA ID does, because it's harder to get a VA ID card. I'm not saying that fakes can't get them. They have, but it's a lot harder because it's supposed to be the people in eligibility are trained to identify a fake ID card. It's supposed to be. The VA ID card has the same 2 or 3 points of biostatistical data, just like a driver's license or a state ID does, as your signature. VA ID is ADA compliant more so than a driver's license because it has Braille on it as well. And things are stamped in. So if you can't read Braille, you can feel your name and you can feel some information on the outside edge of the card. And it has your picture. But anyway, so that's the feeling with Saginaw County MDHHS. They don't respect veterans. They don't take our ID card. And as far as my service to them, they found clever ways to intercept my service to director, to a supervisor, and to a couple of workers. They stopped it in the mailroom. Today, I went there again today, and they tried the same game. They refused to sign for it, and they said, oh, we'll scan it in. This is pertinent to a case, but this is service, a legal complaint. Again, they're trying to sideline me and gaslight me. And a couple of social workers were there judging, saying, yeah, we don't take that ID. Arrogant. You know, that I don't like a lot of social workers. They're arrogant. They're do-gooders, but it's do good to make themselves feel good. And, you know, I tend to be very cautious around people that earn from 48.5, that's a benefits processor, level 9, from them up to a social worker, which is a number, what is it, 10 or 11? They make $75,000 a year. But yet they want to tell people who are living on nickels and dimes, oh, no, you don't qualify for that. Oh, no, we're not going to stretch the program. The manual says that you are denied, so you're denied. Or, no, the way I read the manual, it doesn't sound like you qualify. Well, it says right here, well, but if you read it the way I think it's intended, everything is freaking arbitrary. And then you have one social worker from Saginaw County. Actually, she's not a social worker, correction. She's one of the coordinators of the schedule, basically. She said, yeah, local policy is people cannot avail of the CAR program unless they're working 20 hours a week for, what'd she say, 4 to 8 weeks, so we can make sure that they can hold the job. Really? That is the most, just, that's all I can say to that. Should she even be working there if she's going to treat the poor and treat people who are having a hard time, to talk about people like that, us, condescendingly like that? You know, I could point the finger at her and say, could you really hold a job if you didn't have friends or family that are connected to Saginaw County MDHHS who got you a coordinator job? Would you really have that job? Could you handle doing construction, what some of these guys do 9 months of the year? Sometimes not seeing their family for a week or two, some of the guys and gals. Or what about the people that go up to Mackinac for 3 to 4 months out of the year? Because they like going to Mackinac. People like going up there. They like the culture. They like the way that people are treated up there. But then the rest of the year, either they're living off unemployment or they go down to Florida. What about them? Could you handle that? Or even more so, could you handle being deployed anywhere from 12 to 36 months away from your family, maybe possibly getting shot at, or being a half an hour or 45 minutes from people who are getting shot at and you support them? Could you handle that? I didn't like her comment. I didn't like it at all. I found it condescending, judgmental. The vast majority of people, I would say 75%, do not want to be on welfare. And there's a significant portion of that 75% that are struggling to get off it because social workers retaliate, because they're judgmental, because they're arrogant, because some of them have a chip on their shoulder. You know, some of the social workers I saw there today, their body language, I don't think they're very nice people. And the fact that one of them had their cameras out because I was there, not a very nice person. Yeah. And then the fact that the security company, which is owned by a veteran, backed them up, those people should be fired. The company that has the contract for that also has federal contracts. They know the VA ID that's issued to veterans, that's a legitimate ID. They have federal contracts. The security company is a veteran owned business. Matter of fact, it's a veteran owned, black owned business. And that's their attitude towards vets. And also the fact this building has the installation on a certain floor. It's called installation management or installation and securitization or something like that. I forget the acronym, what it is, or even what the name is. But these are the specialists in security for MDHHS for Michigan. They have several buildings throughout Michigan where they share one or two floors with the social workers and the benefits. Actually, the benefits processors, most of them work from home. You know, the thing is with the benefits processor, they can work benefits full time or part time. Some of them have a full time job or another part time job, and they do their benefits processing in their free time. And also, a problem with this is, our clients, are they sure their clients are getting the best treatment, or are they being treated arbitrarily and subjective? Per local policy. And I confronted this coordinator right there. I objected. I just noted my objection. We didn't handle it like a trial. It was handled, kind of informally. But I objected to that. I said, you know, she's using this kind of evidence, which is hearsay, and she's talking about a local policy that's irrelevant. We're talking about a state program. It's not a local program. It's run by the state. It's funded by the state. The specifics about who runs the program, local, if there's all kinds of local controls and it's totally subjective, how they spend the money, that's ripe for, we'll call it partiality, ripe for racism, sexism, ideological isms, or just the fact of, I don't like this client. I'm not going to back him up, such is what happened to me. When I gave them, even the judge said, you gave me 96 pages of pleadings, evidence. She's like, that's a lot. I'm like, yeah, because I'm not messing around. And I sent it off to recipient rights as well. But anyway, oh yeah, so the thing with the how they cleverly avoid my service. Nobody signs for the deliveries from the courier. They refuse to sign anything. It goes to the mailroom, and then they upload it. Because it's another thing I found out today. Some of these benefits processors and social workers, they're not even connected to our county. Some of them live in other counties. So the chance of you serving somebody who wrongs you is not there. You have no rights. And when you make a complaint, they'll give you a hearing, but in the end, they're going to make sure that the hearing judge assigned, they're Lara, social workers, and others connected to the state of Michigan. Now, anybody who knows sports knows you don't trust the home referees. They're always biased. Well, this is probably the direction that, I mean, I could be wrong. My case, I haven't heard back from the judge yet about the car program. I could be wrong, but the way the way I've been, you know, trained and experienced government work is you want a third party that's not connected to any party whatsoever. Certainly not from the state or an impartial judge, let's say from anything. You know, you want a third party that's removed, absolutely neutral. But you know, so these social workers and benefits processors, you can't serve them. They may work in a different county, such as the guy that wronged me. I've put two and two together. He isn't even around here anymore. He used to hang out in my complex. I saw him and his wife a couple of times. I recognized his voice and the fact that as soon as he saw me, as soon as our eyes met and I looked at him and I listened to him talk, all of a sudden him and his wife hightailed it out of there. And this happened twice. And one time I heard him on the phone with his wife when they were moving to Detroit because he was trying to get a different phone number from Google. So this is how they avoid getting served and how they can wrong people. And also this is how people get ramrodded. You know, you just get screwed over. You get stovepiped, get stuffed up into the chimney, you know, wait to get blasted out when the fire started. But in the end, you're the one that gets burned, nobody else. So, learned a little bit of information today and tried to motivate some people to fight. Don't put up with any crap. But people are scared. The people I saw there, some of them just rolled their eyes. Other people listen. Other people, they're just, I could tell from their eyes, they're scared. Because people will ruin their life. And they may. Don't give up fighting. You fight back and you fight like hell. And when you come in and people dismiss you or they may even make fun of you, I've encountered that. People don't take me seriously. They make fun of me. They'll mock me. When they see my piss in my vinegar, makes them think twice. And they're going to say, oh, he's aggressive. Yeah, I found him. He may be aggressive and dangerous. I say, then you go file. You get your two, professional witnesses and you file. I'll see you in court. Because everything I'm saying about me and everything that I do about my family, I don't mess around. I'm tired of the predators in this town. And I'm tired of the small town attitude in this town where people are screwing people over. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the racism. Some people get a government job and people are not their racial background or go to their type of church. They will screw them over. I'm sick of it. When I hear the city council talk about Unity, their new high school, yeah, I wish them luck. It's going to take 20 years. For Unity, from putting all the people together in one high school, you're looking at 20 years. I hope your experiment works. Because there ain't no unity right now. This is the most racist and biased city I've ever lived. And I've lived on 3 continents. 2 of them within 30 to 45 minutes from combat. And this is the most ununified place I have ever seen. So, as far as unity with MGHHS, until there's accountability, a lot of people are going to continue to be wrong. There's no accountability. This universal caseload, I would tell the governor to her face, Your program is not helping people because of the way you've set up the call centers, these contact centers, especially the one for Bay City, Saginaw, Flint. I think it's just Saginaw, Bay City. People are getting screwed over. They're getting gaslit. They're getting hung up on. And if they really tick off the benefits processors, we all know there's no social workers now. They're supervisors. So they're sitting in their desk, playing with iTunes, probably even have earbuds in their ear, and probably sending, some kind of chat nonsense back and forth or through email. The benefits processors are the ones doing everything. And these are people that have no background in social work. Some of these people, they hate people. And we're going to let them control some families' benefits? That's insane. And people call in. Last time I called in the other day, there was 167 people in front of me. They didn't call me back, and I didn't even hear the call. They didn't call me back till I think it was 5:30 in the evening. I called at 11 or 12. I wish I would have been there so I would have seen if I was going to talk to a real person or get a recording. Please call back during normal business. I don't know. I'm curious. But the call center, I know there's 2 shifts. But the building itself, where the call center is, um, there's only 1 shift. Well, actually, they're down to using 1 building now. No, 2 buildings, because one of them is for a foundation. They still use the building, so they're using 2 buildings. One of them has 2 shifts. Otherwise, everybody's working from home because the hacking and people posting who works there. Evidently, somebody's like me. They know that this company, regardless their intentions, they just want to make money. But some of the people that they hire, they're screwing people over. Insurance, banks, credit cards. It's interesting. If you go down to the courthouse, we go down there every now and then, serve people or to remind the departments down there all the human rights and civil rights abuses that happened to my family. I'll remind them every now and then. I don't care if they hate me. I'm not going to let my children feel like they're forgotten. But you'll see lawsuits, it's always certain creditors. It's interesting. Always certain creditors because they're targeting people here. Always certain creditors. You'll see the same 2 or 3 creditors every day pop up. I'm not saying that's the only creditors, but I just find it interesting that it's always, you see a certain 2 or 3 or 4 creditors all the time. I find that fascinating. And it's always suing people. It's interesting. Anyway, and they always hire the same firms too to litigate people. Some of these firms are getting rich off suing people that can't pay. But anyway, what was my point? Anyway, I was talking about the things happening to people. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. But that's some of the ways that they avoid serving people, and through the mailroom nonsense, and it derails the clients. And then when somebody works in a call center, especially if they're working from home, you can't serve them. You send them to the call center, what, maybe in a week or 2, somebody's going to read the mail? I'm serious. The call centers in Saginaw are minimally staffed. 1 building is staffed for 2 shifts a day. Everybody else is from home. This is a big smoke screen. There's hundreds of people working from home. Hundreds. So some of those benefits processors, you can never serve them. And the social workers, like I said, if you even get one, they're not going to tell you their real name. I didn't work there when this company had the state contract, but I worked there before. They had bigger contracts. We were, doing great things with some very, very well known big companies. We were doing some great things. But the problem was some of the people they hired, they're just got a chip on their shoulder. They're angry at the world, or others, they just don't care. And after I left, eventually, within a year or two, I saw somebody. 2 years after I left, I saw a girl I used to work with. She was in my department, and we talked for a while, and they lost all the big contracts. Some very, very well known names. We were doing their contact center work. But if you don't vet your people right, you'll be inventing. Actually, it would be if you don't vet your people right, you'll be reinventing your company. You got to check your people out. You got to do the background check. Otherwise, you're going to fall in the background and your company will be irrelevant. But so things that I learned today concerning MDHHS Saginaw has a problem with the VA and with veterans. Second of all, they still protect each other. Third, they still retaliate. If you try to push back, they will try to, make you look bad. They will try to retaliate. Three, the people that run the windows there, they also try to protect social workers. They won't let you serve. They won't sign for anything. They'll say, well, the only way we can accept things is with your name, your case number, and the specialist ID. They won't accept service. They're trying to block people from exercising their legal rights. That way they can do whatever they want. And they always force people to have a hearing on the phone or Zoom. That way you don't know who the heck you're talking to. How do you know it's really an administrative judge? The vast majority of people who deal with this place, they've never met their caseworker. But according to several court cases, you're supposed to see your social worker every 6 months, especially if you're involved with CPS, especially in regards to various programs, especially for at-risk families. You're supposed to again see a social worker every 6 months. They're supposed to make contact. They're not. They're supposed to show their ID. They're an officer of the state of Michigan. Even benefits processors. The problem is they're trying to push benefits processors into the role of social workers. But now, because of the universal caseload system, benefits processors are not what they used to be. Now, they're no more than a call center agent. Benefits processors before, they had a long class. Not anymore. You're getting a call center agent. If you're lucky, they've had a class a week or two, if you're lucky. The state's not getting what they paid for, but they want to deny people the programs. But the direction they're going, if you sit down and you crunch the number, they're saving millions of dollars. Less benefits processors, more hands-on, menial task call center agents. Social work supervisors, and they share the cases with benefits processors. You're talking about the state saving millions of dollars. So they don't need to hire that many social workers. The interesting thing, go look online. They don't. They hire benefits assistance payment processors. That's what they're recruiting. Some of the people who work with them, like I said before, all they are is call center workers. All kinds of sleight of hand to hide what they're doing, and people are getting screwed over, really getting screwed over. People struggling, single parents who have to, do PATH program stuff or TAMP program or, stuff for Michigan Works, or they got a part time job, or they're involved in family self sufficiency. They have a lot of stuff they have to do. That's one reason why I'm fighting a disability case with the VA, plus with Social Security. I'm fighting from two ends. We have a lot of stuff to do. And why am I doing it? So I can sit and watch TV all day and get fat, and eat donuts, eat Cinnabon. Oh, believe me, I love Cinnabon. And believe me, yeah, I love movies. I like plays. Oh yeah, no, it's to bring my business back. I need money to start my businesses again. But they denied me from programs because apparently I should be working 20 hours a week and, you know, not have any long term plans. Oh, no. Work 20 hours a week. That way we know you can hold a job. Yeah, that's really, really proactive social work, folks. Really proactive. Absolutely out of their freaking minds. They should love the person that has a business plan and that has plans to get off their program. Oh, wait, they don't, because that scares them. If there were more people like me, or maybe all of a sudden I became a charismatic speaker, or my videos went viral, and people started to think, hey, you know what? I can have a small business. Son of a gun. I don't have many resources, but I can. My lawn mowing business, you know what? I'm going to get more jobs. Or, you know what? I'm going to start shoveling snow. Or like today, I was teaching my daughter about some of the people that use their bikes or their wagons to gather pop bottles. You can turn this into a business. Keep all your receipts. Wait, oh, it's automatic. Keep all those receipts. Make photocopies of them. And at the end of the year, file taxes. You'll find out your tax liability, there may or may not be some, depending on how much you earn. Yet also, there's going to be tax liability that's going to be offset by tax rebates, tax breaks. So in the end, you may not be paying as much as you're getting. Anything can become a business. All you got to do is to be educated and plan it out and plan for contingencies. And just imagine if a lot of people started to get motivated about having a business. This is what made our country. Just imagine. Just like I put in my pleading to the judge and the past two or three times that I've sent, um, you know, case summaries to them or letters. I mean, I've only really made one or two pleadings. But I put in there, it may be scary for some people that are involved in social work if people were to not need them so much. It's scary. They may have to actually, you know, find a second way to earn income. And when you're earning 75 grand a year, you have a brand new GMC, you got a nice house in the township, your kids starting college at Michigan or Michigan State next year, your husband works at the plant in Flint. That's scary.